My name is Alec Boaden and I play the roles of Raf, Sam, DS Villiers and about 9 other roles. So the people I portray in Punch, I'll start with Raf. The thing I like about Raf is he represents all of my mates back home, and so I get to showcase this sort of cheeky, naughty boy who, through no fault of his own, is led down a path which involves drug dealing and lots of fighting and not doing too well at school. Although it is just one character, I'm able to represent a lot of people under that blanket and sort of give them the voice that they wouldn't have been able to have in the school, and try to show the audience a different side to people before you sort of judge a lad on the street for having his hood up, or, you know, if he's wearing a tracksuit, you cross the road because you think he's trouble and you're gonna get robbed. On the other hand, I get to play DS Villiers. The only real sign of law enforcement we see throughout the play, but it is from that moment he is the catalyst to actually Jacob's demise, as it was, and sort of leaves the audience with the cliffhanger when he does enter prison of what's going to happen and what the future holds for him. But obviously a lot of people have mixed opinions on the police and authorisation, and so every night I try to give a little taste for something different, so different people can respond to his character and his choices and how he feels about the situation. I try and give a real contrast to, again, treating Jacob like he's just another lad on a night out before obviously the story unfolds and you find out all about him. The character I've saved for last is Sam, and Sam is Jacob's little brother. We don't see him throughout the play, but he's mentioned until right at the end, and I've been gifted an amazing scene. I get to really show a more softer side to the characters I've been playing. But Sam gets a beautiful moment, and the nice thing is, because he's younger, I came in with the idea of playing him like a little chirpy chap, and he's all just nice and happy and everything's fine. But actually, when his brother goes to prison, he's left to deal with the family situation and matures a lot more in the short 30 months it is. I never really thought of myself as a character person. I really struggled to enter a different body and keep it organic, and especially, not necessarily with this play, but with accents and stuff like that. It was a big fear for me. And so I got the job, and he's like, "Oh, Alec, these are your main characters, and then you'll have about 10 others." And I was like, right, okay. I can't just play them all the same, can I? So it was forced upon me in the best way possible, because it's now I come off stage and I get people coming up to me. I've had 5 people say, "I cannot believe those 2 are the same people. One's wearing a hat." You know what I mean? So I was like, right, I'm doing something right. We get to do the play so many times that I don't have to stress about how this character's feeling tonight. It's all live and it's organic, and it means that every night I can do something different and I can try something else out, and that's how we learn as actors, and that's how we find the best results for the audience. These aren't just real people, these aren't just celebrities, these aren't members of the history. We showed Joan and David the first performance in just a well-lit room, and you know they're there, but you've got to do the play. And it was just them and us, and my character, especially at the start of the play, is laughing about the lad being punched. That's how I perceive the character to be. And so I had to do that, knowing that their parents are there. And so when you're doing that, there's a level of respect that you've got to keep with yourself about how you don't want to let them down, and you don't want to miss anything, because people aren't two-sided. People have a lot of layers. It was beautiful reading a script by James Graham, who's from Nottingham, and it was like he was writing the words out my mouth. And I've just done training for 3 years, and all of it is, you know, you're talking your Shakespeare, you're having to adapt to, we've had to do Northern Irish, we've had to do all of this sort of everything but you. And so it was nice being able to bring a part of myself in a room where I was comfortable to really go full Nottingham. The human side to James Graham, which is what we all love and adore, is crazy in comparison to the mammoths of the plays that he does and the topics he touches on. He knows how to portray real stories because he's a real person. His mum was a head teacher, his sister's a teacher. He sees life from a working class background, and I don't think really at school he was the cocky, confident, loud, funny kid. He sat back and he observed and then wrote what he wanted to write about. And so I know that at the start, at kickoff, I've got to come out at full pace, give it my all, and then the nice thing is the harder I go in the start of the show, the faster and the more energy and the more I give the audience, the more weak and sort of hollow I feel at the end of the show, which for me helps me really capture the emotions of the piece, because towards the end I'm not needing that high energy, and so it really helps me to sort of slow down my inner motor because it's too tired. And so I find it easier to reach inside because I've lost all of this energy that's sort of fighting against me. And I've got ADHD, and so my head is constantly pinging about for distractions. And so it's really nice because at the start of the show I get to get all of that out. Again, I'm bringing people I know in the life I know, so it's not exactly a reach because I've done it for 23, 24 years now. So going from the two, it's fairly easy. The nice thing that we offer is the chance to take something away, whether it's reflecting on your own family situation, whether it's reflecting on people you've lost, and it triggers memories that people can have that they're just not able to have anymore. I like the idea that big, grown, hunky, scary men are coming to see it, right? Because we've had 50-year-old, 60-year-old biker gang men on the street in floods of tears after what they've witnessed. It's what I mentioned before, everyone takes their own little bit from it, and you can never presume that someone has had an easy upbringing or someone hasn't had to face some sort of tragedy in their life. It's beautiful seeing men cry in the street in London. The journey for the performance of Punch has been exceptional. Something I've never seen before, but no one did expect it, which was really nice. For me personally, I've never had the feeling of when the lights go dark at the end and you can hear like a breath, an intake, the whole audience arose. I've never witnessed anything like that. And the thing that tops it is that has happened every show we've done so far. My journey started when I came out and someone was like, "Oh, hi mate, really well done. Could you sign my script for me?" First autograph. I'm now on 42. So I'm a little boy in a toy shop, just having a splendid old time.